This is by no means an aesthetic planner video. I'm a 90% function, 10% decoration type person, so my Techo gets most of its visual charm from stickers, highlighters, my doodles, and the cover itself. Very seldom do I have designated planner time during my week as well. I write when I need to, whenever that happens to be, and that's about it. I've included timestamps, so feel free to jump and skip to whichever section you're interested in. Tools. The Jetstream pens that come with the Hobonichi online orders have always been reliable. That is until last year. At some point, either by being dropped or crushed in some way, the barrel cracked, specifically the part of the barrel behind the pen grip. The crack was initially small enough to ignore, but by December the crack grew larger and rendered the pen unusable. I ended up buying these two chonkers, Jetstream 4-in-1s with blue, red, black, green, and a pencil cartridge. Other notable tools are these Shiba tabs, to-do list stickies, and midliners. If you've seen my previous Hobonichi setup video, you may recognize the Shiba tabs and the midliners. In fact, you've probably noticed a lot of carryover of materials. I'm even using the same cover as last year, and that's because when the 2023 collection was first released in October, none of the covers for the Cousin really appealed to me. Plus, I love Yoshitake Shinsuke's work, so I can't complain about another year of looking at these adorable drawings. The irony, though, is that instead of buying a new cover, I bought a Weeks in addition to a new Cousin. My intention was to use the Weeks for work, and the Cousin to plan the construction of my creative empire. And in the first month of using my Weeks, it did seem to be working out just as I intended. Fast forward to today, February 17th, when I'm recording this voiceover, and I have, let's say, semi-retired the Weeks. The Cousin is just an absolute unit. It can handle all my needs to track my day job and my goals for my creative work. And honestly, I need one less thing to carry around. Since my work hours are 9 to 6, the time and energy I expend during the day affects my time and energy in my private life. So in order to build realistic plans to do art and make videos, it's more convenient for me to track everything in one place, the year index. These are probably the only checkboxes I use in the Hobonichi. These are monthly goals. Pretty straightforward. I'll explain this lower half in a minute when I talk about the daily pages. Nothing particularly special about how I do the months page. I have stickers for birthdays and payday. On this left side column is my money tracking area where I check my accounts every weekend. The dailies. So just like last year, for the dailies, I ignore the date on the page and use the pages in sequential order rather than calendar order. This approach is meant to minimize the amount of blank pages in between entries, since there's some days I don't write anything. On the flip side, there have been occasions in the past where I'm in like a meeting where I should take notes, and the Hobonichi is the only thing I have. In those moments, I've filled as much as 5 pages in one go. So if I were to use the pages in calendar order, that would have totally wrecked everything. So I find that sequential order offers the greatest flexibility for me. This method works in tandem with the way I use the yearly index section. I review what I wrote in the pages and then write a brief description in the index. That way, the printed dates function as page numbers, so I can find things quickly. The daily pages themselves serve 4 functions for me. They're a place for note-taking, brainstorming, doodling, and anything else I could possibly need paper for. I love the mythos of the Hobonichi as your life book, so it's a simple pleasure to have this place to be sloppy and explorative. Shamsa and I started off as YouTube accountability buddies, but we've been communicating with each other regularly for over a year now, and we've sort of become general life accountability buddies. So recently I've started this section on the left side. Every Sunday she and I set goals for the week, and the next time we chat we talk about whether we hit that goal or not, and if we didn't, what stopped us from doing so. Under the Shamsa section is my personal goals for the week. I bullet them like so. Among these goals, there tends to be one that I absolutely need to get done during the week, so I'll go ahead and time block it on whichever date and time I know I can get it done. I will write down any upcoming meetings wherever they need to be. Aside from that, any tasks I know I'll have to do, I'll also write them down. I am prone to overthinking and anxious thinking, so whenever there's something I know I'll have to do, rather than holding that task in my mind, I try to write it down and free up that mental space. Beyond that, this is the part where things get vague. There's a big difference between using a planner to preview versus review. I think most people in most planner videos talk about planning, and sometimes it's really meticulous. But for me, I find that meticulous planning is not effective for my lifestyle or my tendencies. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a chronic overthinker, so using this planner to essentially overthink my week/life would be a self-destructive act. I'd be setting myself up for great disappointment when things don't go as planned, and feeling miserable about my planning skills when I sit at my desk at the end of the day looking at a day plan that didn't manifest. So I'd say my approach is 20% previewing, 80% reviewing. And this is what I mean by the best setup for me is to barely have a setup. I'm coming to terms with the fact that life is not as pretty as I may write it out to be. I don't always have clean chunks of time to exercise or draw or read. The reality is that I often fight for minutes, not hours, minutes, to do what I really want to do. I use the time waiting in trains and waiting in lines to pull out my phone and script my videos or read my Kindle, and those moments are basically never accounted for. But that's okay, because what matters is that I prepared my goals, and whether it goes as planned or not, I found the time and did it anyway. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you clicked the like button, and leave a comment as well. Let me know if you're a Hobonichi veteran or if this is your first time using this planner. Also, let me know where you think you fall on the function versus decoration, previewing versus reviewing. And while I really enjoy making these Hobonichi videos, truth be told, I'm not really setting out to be a planner YouTube channel. Rather, I am working my way towards recording my process when I draw, so feel free to check out my art-related videos as well. You can also see my art by following me at Strayak on Instagram. Until next time, take care.